Take the national anthem, led by the Nigerian Navy Band.
On ADUN concepts and vision we stand. On you our anchor, our safety shore, our whole nation all secure. The armless all combined with hope. Oh, our ADUN, oh, our anchor, said we pledge to thee. Our dreams of hope were clear and up. With saintly white and lovely blue combines the purity of love and hope. The passion and vision building trust. Oh, ADUN, oh, our anchor, oh, our asset we pledge to thee. From far and wide we come to stand in faith and hope. Our future born in love, dedication, determination. All on this accord we dare. Said we pledge to thee. On this accord we make our pledge to be the best and blaze the trail to conduct zeal and proposal. We make our pledge, on this we stand. Oh, ADUN, our anchor, oh, our asset we pledge to you.
While standing, we take the opening prayer, which is the last stanza of the national anthem. O God of all creation, grant this our one request. Help us to build a nation where no man is oppressed, and so with peace and plenty Nigeria may be blessed. Amen. Ladies and gentlemen, let's kindly take our seats. On behalf of the founding fathers of this university, the Nigerian Navy, on behalf of the management and acting Vice Chancellor, Professor Dili Ufuku, it is my singular privilege and honor to welcome you all to the third convocation ceremony of Admiralty University of Nigeria, a global university educating luminary leaders. At this juncture, I'd like to invite the registrar of this noble institution, a retired Commodore of the Nigerian Navy, Commodore Isaac Manklik Mashingil, PhD. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together for him to take over proceedings to welcome our dignitaries the right way. Let's put a clap for the registrar, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Visitor, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria. The distinguished special guest of honor, His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Delta State, Right Honorable Sheriff Obowore, JP, Chairman, Senate Committee on Navy, Senator Otumba Gbenga Daniel, Chairman, House of Representatives Committee on Navy, Right Honorable Yusuf Adamu Gagdi, OON, Honorable Minister of Education, Dr. Murufu Olatunji Alausa, Executive Secretary, National Universities Commission, Mr. Chris Mayaki, the special guest of honor, Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, the Chief of the Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ikechukwu Ogla, Service Chiefs and Inspector General of Police, former Chiefs of Defense Staff, former Chiefs of Naval Staff, Vice Chancellors, Provosts, Rectors, Registrars, GOCs, FOCs, and AOCs here present, members of the Federal and State Executive Council, commandants and commanders of units here present, senior military officers serving and retired, Your Royal Highnesses, the Chief Judge of Delta State, Justice Teresa Dai, my Lord, spiritual and temporal, Pro-Chancellor and members of the governing council of this university, former members of the governing council here present, former GMDs and CEOs of Nigerian Navy Holding here present, Acting Vice Chancellor, Admiralty University of Nigeria, Professor Dili Emmanuel Ofoku, Principal Officers of the University, Deans of Faculties, Directors of Units of the University, staff and graduating students of Admiralty University of Nigeria, parents and guardians of graduating students, distinguished guests, well-wishers, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. The Admiralty University of Nigeria Establishment Act 2022, Section 6(1) provides that the Chancellor shall be appointed by the visitor on recommendation of the Minister of Education. The Chancellor shall, in relation to the university, take precedence before all other members of the university, and when he is present, shall preside at all meetings of convocation held for conferring of degrees, including honorary degrees. The ADUN Act 2022, Section 6(4), further provides that the Pro-Chancellor shall, in relation to the university, take precedence before all other members of the university, except the Chancellor and the Vice-Chancellor, when the latter is acting as chairman of Congregation or Convocation. Ladies and gentlemen, in the absence of the Chancellor and in accordance with the provisions of ADUN Act 2022, I have the honor and privilege to call upon the acting Vice Chancellor, Professor Dili Emmanuel Ofoku, to constitute the Assembly as a convocation for the award of first degrees and presentation of prizes. Declare the third convocation ceremony of Admiralty University of Nigeria open and preside over it. Acting Vice Chancellor, sir.
By the powers conferred on me as the acting Vice Chancellor, I hereby constitute this Assembly as convocation of Admiralty University of Nigeria for the award of first degrees and presentation of prizes. I declare this convocation open.
I now call on the acting Vice Chancellor to deliver his welcome address. Acting Vice Chancellor, sir.
The visitor, represented by the Vice Chancellor of Federal University of Petroleum Technology, Professor Akpofure, the special guest of honor, the Governor of Delta State, Your Excellencies, Sheriff F.O. Boroweri, I would like to draw the line on the protocols here to save time. I recognize all other dignitaries here present. I am most delighted to welcome you all to this third convocation ceremony of Admiralty University of Nigeria, convened for the award of degrees and presentation of prizes. I would like to particularly welcome the visitor, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GFR, President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, today ably represented by the Vice Chancellor of Federal University of Petroleum Technology in Frunk. Welcome, sir. The special guest of honor, Your Excellency, Right Honorable Elder Sheriff F.O. Boroweri, JP, the Executive Governor of Delta State, who has graciously featured in all our previous convocations in similar capacity. Your Excellency, sir, your esteemed presence here has indeed added color to today's event, and for which we remain very grateful. Permit me also to acknowledge the presence of very distinguished personalities in our midst. These include the Chairman, Senate Committee on Navy, who is like a father to us, Senator Otumba Benga Daniel, Chairman, House of Representative Committee on Navy, Right Honorable Yusuf Adamu Gaji, Honorable Minister of Education, Dr. Morufu Olatunji Alausa, and the Acting Executive Secretary, National Universities Commission, Mr. Chris Jibril Mayaki. I especially welcome the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Gabi Musa, who is our special guest of honor. The Chief of the Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ikechukwu Ogala, representative of the Registrar of JAMB, the representative of the Registrar of the Executive Secretary, Third Fund. Furthermore, may I also respectfully welcome distinguished special guests, royal fathers of the day, our graduates, parents, guardians, alumni, and indeed all who have come to witness this auspicious occasion. As part of the graduation activities, a convocation lecture titled Energy Security and Sustainable Development in Nigeria, the Role of Federal Government and the Universities will be delivered today in the same venue by an scholar and an astute administrator, Emeritus Professor Abubakar Sani Sambu, former Director General, Energy Commission of Nigeria, former Vice Chancellor Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University, Bauchi, and the present Vice President, World Energy Council. You will agree with me that the qualitative delivery of this lecture eminently sets the tone for today's convocation ceremony. A convocation such as this is the climax of academic activities signifying the completion of prescribed courses of study or programs by students having met all necessary requirements, which includes being found worthy in character and learning. Your Excellency, distinguished guests, let me assure you that the students who are graduating today have met all these requirements and much more. This is so because ADUN not only trains the students on academic subjects, but also in character development, which by extension rubs off positively on the society. This is undoubtedly a unique selling point for ADUN and the Committee of Nigerian Universities. It is pleasing to inform this gathering today that out of the 115 candidates who were offered admission and began this journey of academic triumph, 100 students are graduating with bachelor's degree. The breakdown is as follows. First class, 7. Second class upper, 51. Second class lower, 41. Third class, 1. The number of students has considerably increased from 231 at its inception in 2018-2019 academic session to 1,136 in 2024-2025. Of these, 138 are male, 93 female. But today, 770 are male, 366 female, bringing a total of 1,136. It is gratifying to report that ADUN's undergraduate programs enjoy full NUC accreditation. I know that this is at the heart of the founders of this university. In the commencement of Faculty of Maritime Studies and that of Engineering. I am glad to report that NUC has visited our campuses for the verification of the programs in these two faculties. And we are hoping to commence undergraduate programs in these faculties. The following programs will eventually be affected: B.Ed Engineering, Petroleum and Gas Engineering, B.Eng Mechanical Engineering, Eng Electrical Engineering and Electronics Engineering, BSc Nautical Science, BSc Logistics and Supply Chain Management, and BSc Naval Architecture. The introduction of the ADUN Law Clinic marks another step in the training of our law students. The clinic provides avenue for law students to put the theoretical knowledge of law into practice through activities such as regular moot and mock trial sessions or competitions, research, drafting of legal documents under the guidance of experienced senior lawyers in 4 law chambers within this university. The Law Clinic has so far sent 17 students on placements in different law firms across Nigeria to gain practical experience in law for a period of 2 months. ADUN continues to partner with willing institutions and bodies in areas in which it has comparative advantage for mutual benefits. The People's Friendship University of Russia, named after Patrice Lumumba, located in Russia, is one of such institutions. The MOU to this effect was signed in September 2023 for exchange of programs. Also, the university entered into an agreement with China African Consortium of universities for exchange of programs in 2023. The MOU has been signed and presently waiting full implementation. Additionally, efforts are ongoing to collaborate with more reputable institutions which will further boost the image of ADUN in the Committee of Nigerian Universities. At this point, I want to also mention that we are in close contact and in close relationship with the Energy Commission of Nigeria. We are glad to announce that Admiralty University of Nigeria has been registered by NUC as the 154th Federal University. It is equally heartwarming that we have been enlisted by Tertiary Education Fund, TED Fund. By this, the transition to a full-fledged federal university is gradually coming to a close. We are therefore looking forward to the kind support and assistance of all these bodies to undertake the numerous development programs and projects already earmarked in this university. In readiness, staff have mobilized themselves into groups. A total of 13 concept notes covering different aspects of study have been submitted to NRF TED Fund. As I'm talking to you, 3 staff members, Professor Chinwesi Isitua and Dr. Chiama Ehiaka, have been invited by the TED Fund National Research Fair and Exhibition, which commenced and would have been ended by yesterday in Abuja. They were there to showcase their research findings, which include Hammermed, herbal oil solution, cast mess, coconut dust, manna, and BioClean for various ailments, which will include diabetes, and some can be employed in the agricultural sector for greater growth and development of crops. Dr. Musa Said also exhibited his groundbreaking microbial inoculum that is effective in improving growth parameters of crops. With these and many others not mentioned here, we can be sure that both national and global visibility will be put in place. In recognition of the competitive environment in which the university finds itself, efforts are on top gear to establish a postgraduate school. The postgraduate school is expected to commence with 8 programs as follows: PGD, MSc, MPhil, and PhD in Conservative and Environmental Biology. PGD, MSc, MPhil, and PhD in Forensic Science. PGD, MSc, MPhil, and PhD in Accounting. PGD, MSc, MPhil, and PhD in Business Administration. PGD, MSc, MPhil, and PhD in Economics. PGD, MA, MPhil, and PhD in English and Literary Studies. PGD, MSc, MPhil, and PhD in Computer Science. PGD, MSc, MPhil, and PhD in Software Engineering. These programs have been subjected to resource verification by the NUC, and full academic activities are to commence within the 2025-26 session. ADUN is ready to provide more opportunities for her graduates and those of other schools and fill the academic gap in our immediate environment. In furtherance of ADUN's corporate social responsibilities, over 20 students have benefited from institution scholarship to Ibusa and Ogwashoku. The institution gives 2 scholarships each to the 2 communities on yearly basis. It is also relevant to mention that the university has honored several invitations from these communities to attend festival celebrations and other activities with presentations of gifts and items from ADUN. This is in line with the town and gown philosophy of this university. Apart from the support functions of universities and the academia, the academic staff of ADUN have continued to render community service in support of scholarship and educational development of our nation. Many of the staff have served and are still serving as members of NUC accreditation teams or resource verification panels to Nigerian universities. The staff had also participated in retreats organized by NUC, JAMB, TED Fund at different times. Others are serving the nation through strategic appointments in governments. Considering the critical correspondence available in ADUN, it is safe to conclude that the demand for the services of our staff will increase in the years ahead. In the area of staff welfare, ADUN during the year intervened directly in mitigating staff welfare needs. These include wedding ceremonies, providing succor to families of deceased staff through providing burial arrangements, and other supports, including intervention in health care of the staff. Moreover, a shuttle bus service has been provided to convey staff to and fro work at a minimal cost. Some of the staff are also being accommodated to enhance their comfort at home, and the plans are to build more quarters for staff. Furthermore, in recognition of the importance of capacity building to both the individual and the institution, ADUN has invested heavily on staff training outside TED Fund intervention. Monthly administrative lectures are being organized to keep the administrative staff abreast of current happenings in the university administration globally. More than 30 staff members have been allowed to attend conferences, training, and professional workshops within the last 6 months in-house, within and outside the country. These include professional associations in the registry, in the bursary, in the audit, including accountants, economists, computer scientists, renewable energy specialists, lawyers, librarians, etc. It is believed that these efforts would lead to the enhancement of productivity and higher commitment by staff to the goals and aspirations of ADUN. The university has provided hostel accommodation for her students. We are here being assisted by Delta State Government, which has graciously donated an additional hostel, which is nearing completion. The university will appreciate more assistance from other organizations and friends of the university. To build healthy minds in healthy bodies, we have provided basic sporting and recreational facilities for our students and are in the process of expanding our infrastructure to meet the increasing population. ADUN is now a member of Nigerian Universities Games Association, NUGA. And we're looking forward to participating in the next fiesta. As part of the process of transiting to a federal institution, the fee structure for the university has been reviewed by 50% downwards. Thought I would get a clap for that. This has the obvious implication of a tremendous increase in the number of students who will be seeking admission into the university. We are delighted about the trend, which is already manifesting, as we have already recorded more than 70% increase in admissions this year, and it is still coming. This is a good development, as we hope that more Nigerians who could not afford to send their children to the university when it was private can now do so. We have stated with joy that the staff strength has increased, that a number of programs have been introduced, and that student intake has almost doubled. While we appreciate these developments, we are aware that they come with costs. The facilities in the institutions are being overstretched. It is arguably difficult to prioritize them, including hostels, lecture theaters, laboratories, libraries, ICT centers, medical facilities, fund for research and training, staff quarters, staff offices, firefighting vehicles, official vehicles, staff buses, just to name a few. The university is in dire need of infrastructure. At this point, Admiralty of Nigeria wishes to appreciate the continuing efforts to enhance teaching and learning environment, including the upgrade of general facilities. We thank Delta State Government for donating the block of hostel, which is about 60% completion and may be fully completed at the end of this year. In addition to this, the university also intends to commence the construction of more buildings in no distant time to meet our new status as a federal university. Your Excellency, sir, these are problems usually associated with new institutions. While we appreciate all the federal government has been doing, and the Nigerian Navy, all that they have done for us, we still want to draw their attention to the items I have mentioned above for their own attention. The cost of providing light, water, and fuel to run this university is on the increase. Before now, on the average, we would have conveniently provided light with approximately 3 million naira a month. But now the university will need above 10 million every month to do the same. This is a serious issue because light affects virtually every other aspect of life: water, offices, hostels, teaching, medical, and indeed general cleanliness. The university has resorted to rationing light supply, switching off areas not in use, purchasing in tokens, but the bill is still very high. While ADUN has been able to light up the streets with solar, power supply still remains a big challenge, even though the university campus has been divided into units so that solar can be provided in stages. This is a major project that must come with the next year's budget, and it can be extended to other areas, to faculties, hostels, libraries, laboratories, etc. Let me at this juncture express my sincere appreciation to His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, ably represented by my brother here, for the continuing support and encouragement. We are also most grateful for the direction and support received from Chairman and members of ADUN Governing Council towards the success of the activities of the university. We shall continue to count on such support in order to make the university, to take the university to the desired destination of leading the technology revolution in the higher institutions in Nigeria, in particular, and the nation, the world at large. I also wish to place on record the invaluable support received from our regulatory bodies, namely the National Universities Commission, the Council for the Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria, Council of Legal Education, and other professional bodies. We also specially acknowledge JAMB, TED Fund, and NEL Fund. I wish us to specially acknowledge the dedication and resilience of the faculty and staff who nurtured and mentored the graduating students to become what they are today. While appreciating your efforts, please be rest assured that ADUN will continue to motivate you to produce even greater results in the years ahead. To the graduating students, our dear luminary leaders, I rejoice with you on this auspicious occasion. You have worked very hard to earn these degrees which you have celebrated. Great admirables! Great admirables! Great admirables! There is no doubt that the training you have received in ADUN will be handy in the discharge of your constitutional responsibilities as citizens of our dear nation. Therefore, ADUN expects you only in the highest standard of professionalism and ethical conduct to be part of your life as you remain our ambassadors. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, once again, I welcome all of you to this convocation ceremony, and I thank you for your attention. Thank you very much.
Acting Vice Chancellor, sir. I now have the honor to call upon the Dean Faculty of Arts, Management and Social Sciences, Professor Odugwe Wokocha, to present the students who have fulfilled the requirements as prescribed by the Senate of the University of Nigeria and have been found worthy, both in character and learning, to be awarded the degrees of Admiralty University of Nigeria, Dean, Faculty of Arts.
Will the recipients of the Bachelor of Arts degrees in English and Literary Studies, History and International Studies, and those of the Bachelor of Science degrees in Accounting, Business Administration, Economics, International Relations, and Tourism, Hospitality and Tourism Studies program of Admiralty University of Nigeria for the 2020/2024 academic session, please stand and remain standing. Acting Vice Chancellor, sir. In the name of the Faculty of Arts, Management and Social Sciences, and by the authority of the University Senate, I present to you these persons here present and those unavoidably absent for whom I stand proxy for the award of the degrees of the Bachelor of Arts in English and Literary Studies, History and International Studies, as well as the Bachelor of Science degrees in Accounting, Business Administration, Economics, International Relations, and Hospitality and Tourism Studies programs of the Admiralty University of Nigeria. Thank you. Who do I hand over this to? That's all. Who do I give this to?
Acting Vice Chancellor, sir, I have the honor to call upon the Dean, Faculty of Science, Professor Leonard Kashima Shilba, to present the students who have fulfilled the requirements as prescribed by the University Senate of Admiralty University of Nigeria and have been found worthy, both in character and learning, to be awarded the degrees of this university. Dean, Faculty of Science.
Will the recipients of the Bachelor of Science degree in Conservation and Environmental Biology, Forensic Science, Cyber Security, Computer Science and Software Engineering, please rise and remain standing. Acting Vice Chancellor, sir, in the name of the Faculty of Science and by the authority of the University Senate, I present to you the following persons here present and those unavoidably absent for whom I stand proxy for the award of Bachelor of Science degree of the Admiralty University of Nigeria in the 2023-2024 academic session. Thank you.
will start with the Faculty of Arts. By the powers conferred on me as the Acting Vice Chancellor, I award each of you present and those who are unavoidably absent, for whom the Dean stands proxy, the degrees of Bachelor of Arts in English and Literary Studies, History and International Studies, as well as the Bachelor of Science degrees in Accounting, Business Administration, Economics, International Relations, and Hospitality and Tourism Studies of Admiralty University of Nigeria. Congratulations. Now the Faculty of Science. By the powers conferred on me as the Acting Vice Chancellor, I award each of you present and those who are unavoidably absent, for whom the Dean stands proxy, the degrees of Bachelor of Science in Conservation and Environmental Biology, Forensic Science, Computer Science, Cyber Security, and Software Engineering programs of Admiralty University of Nigeria. Congratulations.
Vice Chancellor, I have the honor of calling on the students from farms. I will list and call the names here to file out and receive their scrolls. Bachelor of Science in Accounting. Sunday Jubilee Ediakete. Olagbemi Debbie Oluwayinka. Onwamanam Ezime Esther. Eloeme Ngozi Philippa. Yoro Oveje Christiana Ogenefejiro. Bachelor of Science degree in Business Administration. Peters Obinna Harrison. Matela Yusuf Mayowa. Bachelor of Science degree in Economics. Chukwudi Ogechukwu Precious. Daniel's Great Chidima. God Charity. Bachelor of Arts degree in English and Literary Studies. Noel Dobara Amanda. Bachelor of Arts degree in History and International Studies. Wanko Chibrike. Bachelor of Science degree in International Relations. Okocha Chukufumnanya Promise. Owefe Tokoni Praise. Adejo Ojima Ojo Stephanie. Chetuya Faith. Ekpo Udwak. Esi Ideso Uve Marobo. Badamosi Babatunde Akim. Monye Obiageli Debelichukwu. Nnadozie Chidera Wina. Nwabuzo Elijah Amalachukwu. Obodo Roro. Isaac. Okonji Chinedu Divine. Opala Sydney Chinedu Gerard. Agugwa Chinazekpere Isaac. Akwezwe Chinedum Chi Edozie. Adamo Egbe Jule Trust. Anyanwu Ezekiel Chinedu. Ikechukwu Chemele Mark Henry. Mezi Ezine Success. Obinne Kenechukwu. Ogboniwe Emmanuela Isioma. Onwodi Onyelukachukwu Daniel. Onyeka Dominica Ebelechukwu. Owesege Eliafa Eniye. Smith Samuel. Then Samson Simon Pere. Thank you very much.
Graduating students from the Faculty of Science to come out and formally receive their degrees. Conservation and Environmental Biology Program. Onyeka Chuku Elfreda. Forensic Science. Ujo AJ Andrew. Onwulere Somtochukwu Onom Dinachi. Abdul Momoni Nura. Oma Chibiyojo Elizabeth. Wadia Joshua Chiedu. Bachelor of Computer Science. Agu Udensi. Amajoyi Ekenelichuku Judah. Amechi Nwanze Udo Laura. Chidobu Ogugwa Ikechukwu. Idris Auroswagene Anthony. Iheniacho Ikechukwu Benedict. Ntosi Charles Kanayochukwu. Nwaokolo Uche Royal. Okpe Rufina Stephanie. Onubogu John Ikechukwu. Osoji Chiemeka Darlington. Anga Richard Nengi. Echo ABDB Felix. Idiege Emmanuel. Owemiye Humphrey. Sanusi Akinola. Uchi Diono Ebubechukwu David. William West Valerie Chinwendu. Now, Bachelor of Cyber Security. Echela Odaliko Echela. Agbara Chidima Francis. Ezekwe Naemeka King David. Noron Ebube Jerry. Ogunleye Dide Neil. Ojenua Enine Sweetness. Peter Okoli Tobechuku Stephen. Sam Dede. Denzel Tamuno Mi Baka. Abua Ngozi David. Abonyi Uchenna Emmanuel. Akpachuku Eric Minachi. Ekpo Bedafe Ovie Okiemute. Enu Jacob Benjamin Delight. Nwaibo Emeka David. Nwanwene Chukuma Charles. Anagise Osasoge Favor. Oyebade Emmanuel Oluwafemi. Now Bachelor of Software Engineering. Ofili Onye. Aya Ofu Enenease. Chiaganam Amobichuku. Ekanem Nyarawo. Essien Blessing and Yefiok. Ilo Chidera Cosmos. Obidike Emmanuel Chukwuebuka. Okechukwu Beyano Favor. Okoro Ezine Angela. Okuchukwu Chidera Don Clinton. Oviego Kewe Emmanuel. Patrick Entebre Joe. Alali John Boma. Alfred Ogoneyerowo Favor. Bello Mohammed Olarenwaju. Ebenezer Ewere Walter. Morning Ayomiku Samuel. Nkete Chibueze Chimdi. Ngwa Okobia Precious Chinwe. Ozili Osemedwa Emmanuel. Ugbe Onoma Harmony. Thank you and congratulations.
Acting Vice Chancellor, sir. I now have the honor to call upon the Acting Dean, Student Affairs, Dr. Nnamdi Sylvester Okonkwo, to present the students who attained academic distinctions during their studies in the university. Dean of Students.
The Acting Vice Chancellor, sir. I wish to present the list of those that won prizes. Sir, by the authority of council, I present to you the following persons of the Faculty of Arts, Management and Social Sciences, and those of the Faculty of Science who have attained academic distinctions during their studies in the Admiralty University of Nigeria, Ibusa. Okay. The list runs thus. The first is overall prize for the best graduating students for the 2023-2024 academic session in the university. The name of this award is Proprietor's Prize. The name of winner is Omolere Somtochukwu Onomsnachi. All right. She put a CGPA of 4.80. And the value prize for this award is 300,000 naira. Okay. The second prize is for the best graduating students for the 2023-2024 academic session in the Faculty of Arts, Management and Social Sciences. Name of this award is Pro-Chancellor's Award. The name of winner is Okocha Chukwu from Nanya Promise. Promise Okocha put a CGPA of 4.68. And the cash value of this award is 120,000 naira. Next is for the best graduating students for the 2023-2025 academic session in the Faculty of Science. Name of the award is Pro-Chancellor's Award as well. The name of winner is Omulere Somtochukwu Onumtanachi. As you already know, Omulere put 4.80 CGPA, and the value of this award is 120,000 naira. We have prize for the best graduating students for the 2023-24 academic session in the Faculty of Arts, Management and Social Sciences. Name of award is Vice Chancellor's Prize. The name of winner is Okocha Chukwu from Naya Promise, who has a CGP of 4.68. He earns a cash value of 120,000 naira on this. There is also the prize for the best graduating student for 2023-24 academic session in the Faculty of Science. Name of the award is Vice Chancellor's Award. Name of winner is Onwulere Somtochukwu Onumachiri. .80 CGPA for the obtained time, and the cash value for this is 120,000 naira. We have another prize this time around for the best graduating students for the 2023-24 academic session in the Faculty of Arts, Management and Social Sciences. Name of this award is Dean's Prize. Dean's Prize. Winner again is Okocha Chukwufumnaya Promise. .6 CGPA, cash value of 75,000 naira. For the best graduating students for 2023-24 academic session in the Faculty of Science. Name of award is Dean's Prize. Name of the winner is Onwulere Somtochukwu. The cash value for this award is 75,000 naira. The next award is Head of Department's Prize for the best graduating student in the Department of Accounting, Business and Economics. Name of award is Departmental Prize. Name of winner is Chukwode Uchechukwu Precious. She's a first class student because she put a CGP of 4.53. And the cash value for this award is 50,000 naira. We have Head of Department's Prize for the best graduating students in the Department of English, History and International Studies. Name of the award is Departmental Prize. Name of winner is Nwankwo Chibuike. Nwankwo Chibuike is a 4-pointer. The cash value for this award is 50,000 naira. Next is the Head of Department Prize for the best graduating students in the Department of International Relations and Tourism Studies. Name of award, as usual, is Departmental Prize. Name of winner is Ukocha Chukwufumnaya Promise. He's picking a cash value of 50,000 naira on this. Congratulations. And then finally, we have Head of Department's Prize for the best graduating students in the Department of Biology and Forensic Science. Name of award is Departmental Prize. Winner of this award is Onwulere Somtochukwu Onumdinachi. 4.80 CGPA, 50,000 naira cash aboard. Sorry, we omitted one in error. That is the very last one. And that prize is the head of department prize for the best graduating student in the Department of Computing Sciences. Name of award is departmental prize. Name of winner is Ofili Onyinye. Ofili Onyinye is also a first-class brain. And this prize has a cash value of 50,000 naira.
Go to the VC, share this one. Acting Vice Chancellor, sir. I now call on the guest lecturer, Professor Abubakar Sani Sambo, to step forward for his citation and thereafter deliver this convocation lecture. Guest lecturer, sir.
Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, it is my distinct honor and great pleasure to present the third convocation lecturer of Admiralty University of Nigeria. Standing before you is Engineer Professor Abubakar Sani Sambo, a man who is globally acclaimed as a luminary in the field of energy and mechanical engineering. A dynamic leader, a distinguished academic, and indeed a legend in his own right. He was born on the 31st of July, 1955 in Zaria, Kaduna State. Our esteemed lecturer graduated from Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria with a first-class honors degree in mechanical engineering in 1979. He proceeded to the University of Sussex, United Kingdom, where he obtained a doctorate degree also in mechanical engineering in 1983. The young Sambo began his working career in 1980 at Bayero University, Kano, as a graduate assistant in the Department of Mechanical Engineering, where he rose to become a senior lecturer in 1987. In 1989, he joined Usmanu Danfodio University, Sokoto, as a reader in energy studies and the director of the Sokoto Energy Research Center. In 1991, he was elevated to the rank of Professor of Mechanical Engineering with a focus on energy studies. And this was at the age of 37, barely 12 years into his academic career. Professor Sambo became the Vice Chancellor of Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University, Bauchi, in 1995. He served with distinction for 2 consecutive terms and left an indelible mark on the institution. At the conclusion of his tenure as the Vice Chancellor of Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University, Bauchi, in 2004, Professor Sambo was yet again appointed the pioneer Vice Chancellor of Kaduna State University, where he served briefly before his appointment as the Director General of the Energy Commission of Nigeria. Professor Sambo was named the Special Advisor to the President on Energy in July 2011. Fast forward to the last 4 years, Professor Abubakar Sambo has served society in numerous ad hoc capacities. Among others, he has been Chairman, Ministerial Task Force on Power, Member, Tertiary Education Trust Fund Standing Committee on Research and Development, and Coordinator of the Energy Thematic Group. He has also been Chairman, Ministers' Policy and Technical Advisory Committee on Environment. He has been member, ECOWAS Regional Center for Renewable Energy and Energy Efficiency Consultative Committee. He's also served as member, African Union High-Level Panel on Emerging Technologies. An eminent scholar and a prolific writer, Professor Sambo has supervised over 20 PhD candidates to successful completion and has published well over 200 articles in books, journals, and conference proceedings. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it will not be out of place to describe Professor Abubakar Sambo as a prolific academic fellow. He is a fellow of the Nigerian Academy of Engineering, fellow of the Nigerian Academy of Science, fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, fellow of the Solar Energy Society of Nigeria, fellow of the Nigerian Institution of Mechanical Engineers, fellow of the Nigerian Association of Energy Economists, fellow of the Renewable and Alternative Energy Society of Nigeria, fellow of the Nigerian Institute of Management, fellow of the Nigerian Institute of Power Engineers. Ladies and gentlemen, he is also a fellow of the Energy Institute of the United Kingdom. Indeed, the exceptional figure that is Professor Sambo is recognized as a global energy expert and leader who has served as a 2-term vice chair for Africa on the World Energy Council. As a highly sought-after Nigerian energy scholar, Professor Sambo has chaired the Nigerian chapter of the World Energy Council for the last 18 years. And by the way, the World Energy Council is the principal impartial global network of leaders and practitioners promoting affordable, stable, and environmentally sensitive energy systems for the greatest benefit of mankind. Ladies and gentlemen, our esteemed Convocation lecturer is the proud recipient of 2 prestigious national honors. In 1997, he was awarded the National Productivity Order of Merit, NPOM. And in the year 2000, he received the distinguished honor of the Officer of the Order of the Niger, OON. It is no surprise that a man of such stature holds a distinguished chieftaincy title. His contributions to society have been acknowledged with the prestigious chieftaincy title of Shetiman Gabas Zazau, conferred upon him by the Emir of Zazau in 2018. In December 2022, he was one of the recipients of the 2021-2022 Role Model Award of the Hallmarks of Labor Foundation. In January 2024, he was declared the president-elect of the Nigerian Academy of Science. And on the 24th of February 2024, he was conferred with the honorary Doctor of Engineering degree by the Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University, Bauchi. After retiring from Usmanu Danfodio University, Sokoto, Professor Sambo was conferred with the title of Professor Emeritus. And this was during the institution's convocation ceremony, which held on the 20th of April, just this year. This prestigious title serves as a testament to his outstanding contributions to the Sokoto Energy Research Center and the Faculty of Engineering and Environmental Technology at the university. Professor Sambo is happily married with children. As we prepare to delve into the convocation lecture, which promises to enrich our understanding of the roles of the federal government and the universities in energy security and sustainable development in Nigeria, I am more than convinced that there is no better individual to do justice to this critical topic than a man who has blazed the trail in the energy sector. A man who stands tall in the annals of academic and leadership excellence. Indeed, a true titan in the Academic Hall of Fame. Someone whose remarkable contributions have profoundly influenced thousands of lives, both within and beyond our borders. Your Excellencies, Royal Majesties and Highnesses, distinguished personalities, the ebullient class of 2024, esteemed members of the Fourth Estate, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, with a standing ovation and a rousing round of applause, please join me in welcoming Professor Emeritus Abubakar Sani Sambo, NPOM, OON, the Shetiman Gabas Zazao, as he delivers the third convocation lecture of Admiralty University of Nigeria.
Mr. Chairman, the Honorable Minister of Education, the Chief of Naval Staff, the Pro-Chancellor and Chairman of the Governing Council, please permit me to stand on the protocol very well established. I first want to thank the university for inviting me to share with my thoughts about the Nigerian energy sector in the topic given to me. And I want to say at the very beginning that having checked the website of Admiralty University of Nigeria and having come physically to see what is on ground, I must congratulate the Governing Council, first ones and the present one, and the Chief of Naval Staff for the big and very surprising strategic developments that are very visible on the campus. Mr. Chairman, the lecture has been printed, but I prefer to talk to some slides. And to be very honest with you, I am with the conventional university system that when they say convocation ceremony, the lecture is a day before, and I have prepared slides for about 45 minutes, thinking there will be 15 minutes discussion, but seeing the program, I will jump so many slides to try to fit into the time provided to me. And I don't know whether you can read the slides. It looks a little bit, I hope you'll be able to read. Can I move to slide number 3? Slide number 3, please. Well, I've already mentioned the first one. The other thing I want to say on this slide, I'm sure all of us here know that good living standards and socio-economic development requires available energy in regular, reliable, and affordable levels. And that I'm sure most of you know that thus far, the energy we take for electricity generation, the energy we take for transport sector, the energy we use in our houses for cooking, all substantially come from oil and gas. And I'm sure many of you already know that oil and gas the world over has been known as creating problem of climate change because the carbon dioxide emissions creates global warming, and that, if not curtailed, it will scatter the whole world. And that is why in 2015, move to the next slide, the United Nations held a very big meeting when they came up with the Sustainable Development Goals. The SDGs are supposed to ensure the whole world moves to eradicate hunger, improve education, but also to substantially curtail carbon dioxide emissions through the use of renewable electricity and low carbon technologies, as well as the use of electric vehicles in the transportation sector. That was in September 2015. In December of the same year, there was the climate change meeting of the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, UNFCCC, in Paris. And Nigeria signed that SDGs that same year and ratified 2 years thereafter. And overwhelming number of countries of the world have all keyed in. But let me at the onset allay your fears. Nigeria is a major oil and gas country. There are numerous utilizations of oil and gas apart from electricity and transportation. There are about 100 utilizations: petrochemicals, pesticides, fertilizers, pharmaceuticals, and so on and so forth. So if we are not lazy, can tilt our students to go into those other utilizations so we can have a better world. And IEEA, that has been monitoring the implementation of the SDGs, that was in 2021, beginning of 2021, noted that the way the world is moving, the temperature is not going to be limited to 1.5, which is the level beyond which there will be climate change complication. And they thereafter came with the net zero agenda, 2050 net zero agenda. And that net zero agenda, move to the next slide. That 2050 net zero agenda is essentially to ensure that the emissions of the year 2020, about 32 gigatons of carbon dioxide, is reduced to just about 2 or 3 by 2050. And that level will not create complications for the world. This is a general for the whole world. Many countries have adopted their own. Next slide. This is the Nigerian energy transition plan. And Nigeria, we are hoping to make ours by 2060. That was what Buhari pledged at the climate change conference in Glasgow in 2021, November 2021. Buhari pledged that Nigeria is going to meet net zero by 2060. And the plan is that there will be 45% reduction in carbon dioxide emissions by 2030 and 90% by 2050. Gas commercialization will continue up to 2030, and the plan is estimated to create about 340,000 new jobs by 2030 and 840,000 by 2050. And of course, tremendous amount of money will be required, and the government is battling to see that that is obtained. This is for the introduction. I want to move to the next section, which I will start with this slide. Next slide, please. Satellite picture of the world at night. The essence of this picture is to show you two things. Number one, Nigeria has a lot to do because electricity is the most sought after energy and the highest grade of energy. And that is what lends this. I'm sure you have heard Africa, the dark continent. This is where we get this notion because it's a continent with the poorest electricity supply. And this situation of Nigeria that is supposed to frighten all of us, you will see it more in the next slide, where Nigeria is ranked number 17 in Africa. We are behind Cameroon, behind Cote d'Ivoire, behind Senegal, behind Ghana in electricity. They are all better than us. And this thing is not surprising. If you move to the next slide, you see that I was giving you figures that the average annual electricity consumption of the world at the time I collected the data was about 2,600 kilowatt hour for each person in the world, average. And for Africa, it was 500. But that of Nigeria is hovering between 175 and 220. We are below the African average, not to talk of the world average. If we take the population of our country and apply the African average, we are supposed to have about 15,500 megawatts right now, not the 5,000 we are struggling. Even the African, if we are to go for the world average, it's even more shocking because the world average will require the country to have electricity about 59,000 megawatts. 59,000 megawatts, if we are to be at the world average. So we have got a very big task to do to move our continent forward. And this problem, next slide will show you when I was vice chairman of the World Energy Council for Africa, we noted that African countries, their problems, especially in the power sector, are mainly they have inadequate energy infrastructure on the ground and their low local contents, inadequate indigenous human and manufacturing capacity, manpower and industries are not producing the components, and then the shortage of funds for investments, there is inadequacy, the policies are not very good, and there is also lack of good governance and inadequate political will. This good governance is hiding so many things. Top of them, as you all know, is non-transparent or corruption. And then the inadequate political will, we have seen it in several countries, and I am glad to say that some countries are moving forward because of that. Brazil. I visited Brazil on behalf of the Nigerian government twice, and there we saw the meaning of political will. The president will convene meetings in some thematic areas every week, and shouting and yelling and removal from offices for non-performance. That is what makes people to shift. Here in Nigeria, we're not doing that. The minister that is underperforming is reappointed in a very, I don't want to talk too much about that. I'm supposed to be a government person, but so I will stop like that and just say that we need to do a lot better in that regard. In the case of Nigeria, we found two more problems. Number one there is that the expected effectiveness for liberalization of the power sector in 2005 and privatization in 2013 were not done transparently. That is why we are still having problems. I'm sure many of you have been reading some members of government saying we sold to ourselves or something like that. And that is a problem because the people, the commission responsible for monitoring and punishing, as it were, those who are not complying with the sales agreement, they are made incapable of implementing anything. And that is why we don't have problem. We don't have the power that we are supposed to have. Then there is also the, well, it's a bit recent, but I thought we should be faster. Electricity Act 2023 was enacted, signed into law June last year. That June to now is approaching 1.5 years. The number of states that have got their electricity markets on the move is just about 6. I will talk about it later. And we should have a lot more. That's why we are putting that as a problem. If we move to next slide, We will see the problem in the transport sector is similar to that of the power sector. In addition, one of the major issues is that despite the Petroleum Industry Act of 2021, and despite the fact that the largest single trade refinery capable of processing 650,000 barrels per day is now functional, still we are importing petroleum products to our country. Very bad. Now, on the other areas, can you move to the next slide? For industries, their major problem, no, go back. I think you have gone too fast. For industries, the major problem, as you all know, is inadequacy of electricity and gas supplies. Most of our industries rely on gas, and the gas is not being supplied in the quantity and quality they want, and so many of the industries have closed and have moved even to other countries, as you all know. A big pity about country. And then in the services sector, when you talk of services sector, we are referring to hospitals, schools, barracks, offices, banks, and so on. Their major problem, again, is lack of electricity. If you move to the household sector, you know, everybody has to eat, whether in the rural, peri-urban, or urban areas, cooking is done. And there again, the sustainable cooking fuel is not available all over. Gas is the neatest, but our cousins in the peri-urban centers and rural areas rely substantially on fuel wood and charcoal from trees. And if care is not taken, desert is going to reach most parts of Nigeria. Something has to be done in that direction. Now, if you move to the next slide, you say, with all these problems, Nigeria has adequate energy resources, both the conventional that the world is moving away and the renewables in plentiful supply. So what is our problem? I think we have even mentioned a little bit earlier. Our problem is so many, non-transparent issue and the issue of inadequate political will. That political will is a very serious thing. Targets have to be met, but you can see the resources. Nigeria is even more of a gas country because the gas resource, that compilation was done 2020. It was 206 trillion standard cubic feet. Last year, NNPC said it was up a little bit, and I tell you it will go up more. This is because if a lot of prospecting is done in the Niger Delta Basin, Enugu Basin, Edo Basin, Bida Basin, Upper Benue Trough, Bauchi Gombe, Nasarawa Basin, and even Illuminum Basin between Nigeria and Niger Republic. We will be friends again when we start extracting oil and gas from there. So it will go up. We have more gas than oil, and gas is a neater fuel. I will mention it a little bit in the future. So we have a lot of energy, and the solar is even the largest. As we are talking here, if you take 1% of the land area of Nigeria, put solar photovoltaic panels of 10% efficiency for 6 hours a day, you're going to have about 300,000 megawatts. 300,000 megawatts from solar alone. So therefore, what are we doing? Why are we not there? I think we must shake our leaders, get them to adopt the necessary policy, legal and regulatory frameworks, as well to entice the investors to come and invest and lift us out. Because we cannot develop. We cannot develop if we don't have energy. And the top one, as I mentioned, is electricity. Then transport fuel and so on and so forth. Now, you can see here, apart from coal is still there, while President Buhari said we meet net zero 2060 and we stop combusting gas by 2040. From now to 2040, we can use coal for electricity generation. We can also produce coal briquettes. They are very good for cooking in the household and services sector. Coal briquettes. Coal briquettes, their carbon emission is negligible, so they will be good for cooking in those areas. Any one of you who is interested, go into this. I think we can talk. My email will be displayed, and we can move substantially forward. Next slide, please. You can see on this second slide, we have also some wind. The wind is not too much. In the extreme north, Jos Plateau, coastal area,
we can generate a lot of electricity from wind. Biomass is there. We don't want to promote biomass too much, but the thing is that our cousins, if you tell them to stop using fuel wood now, then you are just a theoretician, because they don't even listen to the radio, they don't know, they don't read the newspapers. So the better thing to do is to plant plantations of quick-growing tree species to provide for the fuel wood for them in the interim. And that will be something that will move substantially forward. Next slide, there's something that is coming on that is making some of us to be rather disturbed. It's a good thing, it's a very good thing to take the gas from Niger Delta to Abuja, to Kaduna, to Kano, because it will create power plants, industries in those areas. But then the next step of taking the gas from Kano to Niger, to Algeria, that's the middle picture there, is something that African Union has been pushing for about 15 years. And they want the gas from there to go to Europe, through Italy, through Morocco. And then the last picture there on the right, recent one, about 2 years ago, ECOWAS started saying Nigeria should supply gas across the West African coast. So we need gas in Nigeria. If we take it to Europe, well, you know, this Ukraine, Russia was one that led to the third leg. If we take it to them, we will have problems in Nigeria. Let's wait a little bit until we sort out ourselves, set up the industries, set up the power plants, we become reasonably self-sufficient, then we can deliver the gas. That's my personal opinion. But the government is still pushing this, but I think it's having problems because the investments required are not coming as quick as the government plans are. So maybe that is something good for us. Next slide, please. Next slide is showing you that for about 85% of the land area of Nigeria, 85% you can tap from the provision of solar energy to get electricity. And the next slide is showing you the wind map that I mentioned, extreme north, Jos Plateau, coastal areas. You can also get a lot of wind. If you check just Plateau area alone and put particular type of wind turbines, you can get almost 150,000 megawatts of electricity. So again, the question, what are you waiting for? Next slide is just showing you some of the river system that we can put our hydropower plants, both the large scale and the micro ones. The following slide is also giving you some specific sites. The government was thinking of putting some small and medium hydropower plants. The next one is showing some other energy resources. I didn't mention the nuclear. The major element of nuclear, uranium, is available in the northeastern states and Cross River State. Our uranium deposit has not been quantified, unfortunately. And our eyes were beclouded because of the oil and gas availability in our country. But I tell you what, uranium, 1 kilogram of uranium, 1 kg of uranium will give you the heat that 1,000 kilogram of coal will give you. 1 kg of uranium. So any scientist will say, we must use uranium. We must use it. And the military chaps, I think there are some other things we can discuss quietly about uranium. Iran is moving in that direction. It's not discuss. If you discuss too much, USA will block you. So, but for power generation, I think we should develop it. Actually, Nigeria has done a lot in that direction. It has a research centers on nuclear. It's even when I was DG Energy Commission, they excised part of atomic and created Atomic Energy Commission, and it is moving in that direction towards getting utilization. But you see, Niger, that did not have oil until very recently, got France and recently America to be mining uranium from their own area. And it's the same deposit that crops from that Yobe, Borno side into Nigeria. And we have to do something in that regard. Uranium is beautiful. I think we should. I'm sure you also know, apart from power generation and the other things that we don't want to talk openly, you also use nuclear techniques in healthcare delivery, in prospecting for oil and gas, prospecting for solar minerals, prospecting even for water resources, very beautiful. So we have to do something in that direction. Can we move next? On energy security, which is the main topic given to me, energy practitioners, when they talk of energy security, they actually mean security of supply, regular, reliable, no disruption. But when you are in a military establishment, and when we have the current things we're having in Nigeria, you also have to look at security of energy infrastructure. And when the two are addressed, I think Nigeria will be very vibrant, and we will be moving in the correct direction. For security of supply, we must have an expanded energy mix, utilizing all the viable energy resources we are talking, not just the two that we are having. In fact, when you are relying on two, like we are having now, on gas and hydro, you can say energy security of two. But when you bring solar, wind, hydro, biofuel, biomass, you will have an energy security of 6. And major companies prefer energy mix as high as possible to set up their branches for operation in various countries. And like I mentioned, there is quite a number of things that we can do, because you see the security issues can be addressed by monitoring of energy infrastructure, installing systems to detect moves, even to detect moves of tampering with energy infrastructure. And then we have to be very serious. All those courts must be arraigned to ensure adequate punishment is meted out to them. Can we move to the next slide, please? Now, there is quite a number of standard definitions. I think there's no need for me to go through this. It's in the text. I just move on to the next slide to tell you that energy security is an absolute necessity for economic growth and development of all countries. And this is needed for supporting industrial production of all types, for powering all businesses, for powering water supply systems, schools, hospitals, and so on. Early this morning, I was chatting with your former Pro-Chancellor, and he confirmed to me the lack of adequate and reliable energy is also impacting in his own area of water supply, and is impacting in all other areas. So we must move towards solving this hydra-headed problem to ensure that Nigeria moves in the right track. Let's move on to the next slide, please. The first step in trying to expand the energy mix of any country, step number 1, is to do energy demand projection. And the Energy Commission of Nigeria, which is the federal government's agency mandated to produce strategic plans and coordinate national policies on energy in all ramifications, has been doing this for decades. Even before I went to the Energy Commission, they were doing. And one of the most recent energy demand projection is the one shown on this slide. You can see for year 2020, the total electricity we are expecting was about 31,000 megawatts. And for next year, 2025, it will be 47,000 megawatts. For the SDG year, for the net zero year, we're thinking of something like 220,000 megawatts. This is the demand projection done scientifically using modern computer modeling tools, using socioeconomic indicators in a very scientific manner. And when you do this, then now you do the supply projection. Next slide will show you a typical supply projection. And the supply projection has a mixture of all possibilities, all of them. And when you say for year 2025, you are thinking of 30-something thousand megawatts, then you do supply projection much more, because you know there are inefficiencies, there are losses, and so on. And when you say you want to do something, it's difficult to reach this in physical, practical systems of day-to-day. So you make the supply projections a lot higher. And this is one of them that you can see taken from 2010, which was the base year of starting this, and then up to year 2065. And if we can do this, which is sometimes called electricity generation expansion plan, Nigeria is going to be fully developed. And there are several, when you finish looking at this, then you start looking at the major power plants available. You look at them, and then you look at the details and the effectiveness, advantages, and so on and so forth. And as you can see, next slide, I have 4 of such schemes shown. Top left, you have combined cycle gas plant. And top right, you have coal power plant. Bottom, you have nuclear power plant. And then bottom right, you have comparison from nuclear and fossil fuel plants. Next slide, you have solar systems. Top left, you have off-grid or stand-alone solar system that can be used to power just Admiralty University, for example, or to power one particular community. Or you can even put it on the grid. Or you can have a grid outside Ibusa to power Ibusa and several communities, a small mini grid. And the bottom one is a solar thermal plant. Next slide is showing you wind plant. Wind is a very good system. You have a wind vane, it collects the velocity, turns the vane, and then electricity is generated in a very sustainable manner. Next slide, you have the hydropower plants. I think most of us here, or many of us I should say, you are familiar with hydro, because this is one that has become conventional, although it is renewable, it's conventional, like our Kainji, our Shiroro, Jeba, they are all based on this type of system. You typically have a reservoir, then you have the hydroelectric power station, you have the penstock, and few other things. Next slide is showing you just picture of, you have a picture of Egbin thermal power station. All the 4 pictures were taken at Egbin. It's just showing you that if we can have Egbin gas power plants, if we can have 20 of them, we can have up to 26,000 megawatts. And the next one is showing combined cycle. And we have got next one, you have Kainji hydropower, next one, Kainji, and then you have the nuclear power plant, next one, and there's these small nuclear reactors, modular nuclear reactors, which are very dispatchable, which can be set up in different parts of the Federation. I think I will just jump. This is a solar system. Just stop here a little bit. The top 2 pictures here, left one is Federal University in Dufe Alike, right one is the Usman Danfodio University. I want to tell ADUN that as a federal university, you can go to Rural Electrification Agency, REA, and ask, when is your turn? The phase 1 has been done. These 2 universities on top are in phase 1. As I'm talking to you now, phase 2 has been done. NDA, they are going to commission their own beginning of December, NDA. So you should ask for your own. Go to REA, Rural Electrification Agency, and ask, because I hear you complain about electricity, and the purpose of energizing education program of the federal government is to help universities solve their own problems. So you need to go there and ensure that you get your own. Next slide is showing wind system, beautiful one that Kenya did, 310 megawatts in Lake Turkana area. Whereas Nigeria, we only have the Katsina 10 megawatts, Lambarimi 10 megawatts, which was started about 13, 14 years ago. We haven't finished it. Kenya did their 310 in 2.5 years. Maybe that will be for discussions another time. Next slide. Move next slide quickly. Let's just go quickly. This is a type, just go back a little bit. This is the type of, go back a little bit. This is the carbon footprint comparison. You can see why environmentalists and those worried about carbon dioxide emission go for the nuclear and all the renewables. They are negligible carbon footprints. Gas, you can see, is about 40%. It's not too bad. The next slide will show you in terms of levelized cost of energy production. Those charts on the left-hand side, the renewables are lower in cost than the ones on the right-hand side. Next slide. This is just a list of power plants that can be built to solve our problem. Next slide. Well, I think I will just say quickly that energy security is absolutely necessary for us to move in the right direction, and we will ensure there is no disruption and so on. Next slide, next slide. Next slide, let's move on. Electric vehicles, I think, are essential because this is one of the ways you can reduce the emissions from the transport sector. And Nigeria has a plan to entrench electric vehicles in the country. It was produced by the National Automotive Design and Development Council about a year and a half ago, waiting for implementation. If we go in that direction, the about 23-24% emission of the transport sector will be minimized. Can you move on? I think I will just mention the issue. Since I've been told to round up, I'll just move to conclusion, Mr. Chairman. I will just move to the conclusion section. I'm sure Mr. Chairman will allow me to take just about 3 to 4 minutes for the conclusion section because it's very important. I want to say that providing adequate and reliable energy supply with expanded energy mix to ensure high level of security of supply and in line with the nation's energy demand and supply projections is indeed the way forward for sustainable development of Nigeria. Secondly, securing energy infrastructure from vandalization by terrorists and thieves is a necessary measure to avoid disruption in energy supplies. The very recent inauguration of the Council for Securing National Critical Infrastructure, which was done last week by the federal government, is a move in the right direction. The NSA, National Security Advisor, is the chairman, and the Minister of Interior is the co-chairman of this council. It's a very big step, and most of the things I described are taken in that direction. Then the next point there, the local production of power plant components like transformers, solar modules, and their balance of system components and inverters, deep cycle rechargeable batteries, and so on and so forth, is something that has to be encouraged. We have to get Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, along with other groups, to key into the provision of the African Development Bank. And when these components are produced, Nigeria can use them and also use the platform of African Free Continental Trade Area to market them across Africa and even outside the continent. Now, with the Petroleum Industry Act into effect in 2021 and the more recent Act, Electricity Act 2023, the cost is clear for the optimal use of the nation's conventional and renewable energy resources to provide for the socio-economic growth of the nation in general and to specifically provide for large energy needs of large-scale agriculture and agro-allied, large-scale open-cast mining and mineral processing, manufacturing industries, and tourism sites. If we do this, as you can see from the next slide, if we do this, next slide, then the problem we had during the COVID years will be solved. I'm sure you remember during COVID-19 period, Nigeria's economy slipped into recession, and it was terrible. But if we build our agriculture, build our industries, build mining, we will never go into recession. The National Action Plan on Electric Vehicles, as I mentioned, should be implemented, and the major roles of the federal government is to provide policy, legal, and regulatory frameworks that will promote significant enhancement of energy security in the two arms of security of supply and security of the infrastructure. As I mentioned, government has taken a big step very recently, the Council on Securing Critical National Infrastructure. That is a good direction. The university, the major roles of the universities is that they will work along with polytechnics and with groups like the National Universities Commission, National Board for Technical Education, and Energy Commission of Nigeria to produce the National Energy Manpower Development Plan, to produce and implement National Energy Manpower Development Plan. And the roles of the universities and indeed the polytechnics is also to conduct research to bring innovations that will be needed for developing our energy sectors. Not to talk of skills, the necessary skills are also essential. There is need to ensure that the energy supply is based on the nation's energy transition plan, which is based on Nigeria's commitment to the net zero agenda by 2060, and this will make sure that we'll embrace all the low carbon systems of renewable energy and nuclear power plant. And one point that should be understood, net zero carbon emission, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, is not absolute zero. It's not absolute zero. The meaning of what I'm saying, if we can be a little clever, as we emit, we absorb using carbon capture and sequestration and planting of trees in a widespread manner, we can continue to use our oil and gas even beyond 2060. As we discover more oil, if we go into this carbon capture and sequestration and plantations of trees, we can continue to use our oil and gas beyond 2060. When my friends in the oil and gas see me doing research in renewable, they say I'm their enemy. I say, no, let me open your eyes. Let's do this other area. Then we became friends. That's the way it is. Because we have a lot of oil and gas. We should not allow this God-given resources to go like that. Carbon capture and sequestration, and this is one area the energy people of ADUN can start working. Carbon capture and sequestration and plantations of trees. If you do it in a big way, I think you're going to get money from different foundations outside the world. And this is making me to say that distinguished Pro-Chancellor and Vice-Chancellor, you should set up a very powerful energy group that will not only do research, but try to pick on the provision of Electricity Act 2023, which is a game changer in two major ways. It promotes renewable electricity and it empowers states to set up their electricity markets. The meaning, so far, I put it in the lecture, only 6 states have created their electricity markets. I think Delta is one of them. So the meaning is that the university can check with that Delta Electricity Regulatory Commission, get the guidelines to set up either electricity generation plants, solar, gas, and the biomass. I think I read there's a lot of palm oil plantations here. Their waste product is beautiful generation of electricity, and that's renewable electricity. And so, VC, I think, Pro-Chancellor, you should think of setting up this group. Apart from the research, also they start producing electricity for consumption here and sell to organizations around here. Lastly, Mr. Chairman, I've exceeded my time. Just one more point, and I will stop. I'm sure you are aware, about 2-3 weeks ago, 17 states were in blackout for about 20 days because terrorists destroyed the transmission networks near Birnungwari area in Kaduna State, bringing light through the Niger end from Kainji, Shiroro, Jeba side, and 17 states were out of electricity, which means we have got to move towards regionalization the national grid. But that will be in the next 3 to 5 years. For now, I think we should recommend all the states to have pick on this Electricity Act 2023, set up their own electricity markets with their own grids across the states. Once the grid in Delta is sorted out, it will link up with the grid in Edo, grid in Anambra State, and so on and so forth, in such a way when there's disruption from Edo, it will not affect this one. When there's disruption in Niger, it will not affect Kaduna State. So step one is to ensure Electricity Act 2023 is implemented. And that's why I think ADUN should set up on their own electricity production plan to contribute to this Electricity Act 2023. I want to thank you for all your attention.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please another round of applause for our guest lecturer. Acting Vice Chancellor, sir, I hereby invite visiting Vice Chancellors, heads of tertiary institutions, agencies, and the Executive Secretary of National University Commission that have brought goodwill messages to ADUN on the occasion of the third convocation ceremony to present their messages. I therefore invite the Acting Vice Chancellor to step forward and receive the goodwill messages. Vice Chancellor, sir. Yes. So they will just yes. Thank you. From Delta State University. Thank you.
Okay, my name is Professor Rosemary Oko, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Administration, Delta State University. I'm standing in for Vice Chancellor, Professor Andy Ogochukwu-Egweyanga, who sends his congratulatory message. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Send our regards to the school.
Vice Chancellor, sir, I'm from Denis Osadebe University here in Asaba. And this is from the Vice Chancellor, Professor Ben E. Ogojafo.
Vice Chancellor, sir, I'm Professor Mrs. Chinelo Nwokolo, the Dean of Students of Federal University of Petroleum Resources. Ably represented, our Vice Chancellor is here as the visitor. We wish you well, sir.
Thank you very much.
This is our goodwill message.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Professor Godwin C. Ndoka, Vice Chancellor, Novena University, Ogume. I bring him these greetings. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Vice Chancellor, sir, I am Professor Jomata Igben. I'm standing in for Professor Augustine Nikelegbe, Western Delta University. Over.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
I'm Air Vice Marshal Eo Shugbamu. I'm the Deputy Commandant, Air Force Institute of Technology, Kaduna. I'm here to represent the Commandant of the Institute, Air Vice Marshal S.L. Rabi. So later I'll present the hard copy of our goodwill message to you, sir. Thank you, sir. Congrats. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
I am Dr. Okocha Judy Fechkude, representing the Rector of Delta State Polytechnic of Washuku, Builder Professor Emmanuel Achuenu. He traveled and he asked me to represent you. By next week, the hard copy of the goodwill message will be brought to your office. Thank you, sir.
Senator, we are very close neighbors here, so thank you very much. You're welcome. We appreciate you.
Welcome. Welcome, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. I now have the honor to call upon the Pro-Chancellor and Chairman of Council, Vice Admiral Dele Joseph Izoba, to address convocation. Pro-Chancellor, sir.
Let me just say that I would have loved to say I want to stand on existing protocol, distinguished audience. But then again, on occasions like this, you have to do one or two things to situate the intent very properly. I'd like to acknowledge the visitor to the university, His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, ably represented by the Vice Chancellor of the Federal University of Technology, Efuru Wari. You're welcome, sir. Now, equally, our distinguished guest of honor, His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Delta State, Right Honorable Sheriff Oboviweri, JP. And then, of course, the special guest of honor, who is the Chief of Defense Staff, and then the Chancellor of the University, the Chief of the Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ogala. That said, let me, therefore, stand on existing protocol. But it's equally important that I recognize our landlord who, in his wisdom, provided the land on which we sit today, the Ibusa of Ibusa, erudite Professor Louis Uchuno Waposhi. We welcome, sir. And other traditional rulers here present, we acknowledge you and we thank you for coming. That said, I want to also congratulate our graduating students and other members of the university family. Before I go into my remarks, I want to seize a few moments to thank our guest lecturer, Professor Emeritus Sani Sambo. He has not only taken time to come here in spite of his very busy schedules, but he has also told us things that border on our current national challenge. The choice by this university for this year's graduation lecture was well thought through and very apt. Energy security for this country has been a recurring decimal in terms of challenge. And government in its wisdom, Nigerians at large have tried to grapple with this at different times, and is still ongoing. But what he has done today in his very scintillating lecture, I'm not going to do a summary of your lecture, Prof., but I'm only going to highlight those very fundamental points that we should take away as deliverables. He has, in his wisdom, given us an overview of the entire tapestry of our energy structure, from time immemorial in the past to the present, and projected what we should be doing into the future. But what brings to mind for me as a form of interest is that in his quest to tell us what the issues are, he also went further to recommend things that the federal government should do, things that universities and polytechnics should also do, and also told us why we are where we are today and what needs to be done to move forward. And one of the things that I like, particularly with regards to what he told us, was where he did enunciate by way of recommendation that we should look at the structure or the model we have adopted in the past, because some of them have not yielded the desired dividend. And he did capture succinctly that the issue of PPP, that is public-private partnership, which has been the hallmark of our energy infrastructural development as a country, has not yielded the desired dividend. And he advocated we should look at BOT, build, operate, and transfer. Because in other climes, that has solved the problem, because the issue of resources in terms of finances is a key challenge for developing countries in Africa. So we must also adopt that. He also talked about an energy security mix that must capture the gas, the nuclear, the solar, and hydro. That if we have a balanced mix of this and other renewable energy sources, we probably will be getting out of the challenge and will see light at the end of the tunnel. In conclusion, he charged the university to develop its own organic energy capacity because he thinks we can do it. And I'm using this opportunity to charge the VC and his team, just like we told them yesterday at the council meeting, that we must develop in-house capacity and capabilities so that we can be energy sustainability in terms of what we do as a university. With these highlights, I'd like to once again thank him very much, and I can assure you that we'll be consulting with you, and everything you've told us to do, we will do. Because if we fight, we win. Thank you very much. So that said, I'd like to quickly, on behalf of the Governing Council, Senate, and the entire staff and students of the university, thank all our invited guests for honoring our invitation. It has been 6 years since our university, Admiralty University of Nigeria, commenced academic activities, and today we are gathered here to celebrate the convocation ceremony of our third set of graduating students. It is pertinent to assert that this milestone achievement would not have been possible without the total commitment and doggedness of the Nigerian Navy under the able and luminary leadership of the Chief of the Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ogala, and of course his predecessors. I therefore commend and applaud their vision and foresight in establishing this great citadel of intellectual propriety. Similarly, let me equally congratulate our graduating students who, over the years, chose this university in their honors path to academic growth, placing their hopes, dreams, and aspirations in their quest for sound intellectual and academic development in the management and academic faculty of this premium institution. Today, we are celebrating the positive outcome of the choices they all made at that time, which was evidently one of the best decisions they have ever made. It is in this regard that I proudly urge all of you to go into the world with full confidence and to interrogate the narratives and stereotypes of the New World Order with your luminary leadership qualities in every aspect, in the spirit of our university's mandate, a global university educating luminary leaders. We are convinced without a doubt that the quality leadership embedded in you by ADUN, you will conquer the world with perseverance and self-belief in yourselves to always be the best you can be, despite the daunting challenges that will confront you. To the parents and guardians, family members, friends of the graduates, and members of the academic faculty, permit me to equally acknowledge your enormous support and contribution towards the attainment of this laudable achievement by the graduating students, who through dint of hard work and determination have recorded this all-important milestone accomplishment that they should be very proud of. As a country, one of the challenges bothering us today is the issue of energy security. Today's convocation lecture, titled Energy Security and Sustainable Development in Nigeria, the role of the federal government and universities have been specially chosen to speak to this all-important issue of national discourse. And I strongly believe this is in tandem with the ideals of ADUN. The convocation lecture is historic and was eloquently delivered by an icon in the energy sector, erudite Professor Abubakar Sani Sambu. Once again, we thank you. There is no doubt that this lecture has reinforced our awareness on the need to promote renewable energy towards the economic development of our country and thus engender prosperity for the people of Nigeria and Africa. The university, within its short period of existence, has made tremendous achievement in the areas of research, internationalization, human resource development, infrastructural development, and other academic pursuits. It is equally heartwarming to note that our students have been recognized even before they graduate, winning awards, both locally and internationally, thus depicting the high quality of our programs in the university. In this regard, university management, under the able leadership of the acting Vice-Chancellor, deserves our appreciation and commendation. Well done. Furthermore, I wish to express our appreciation to the visitor, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and indeed the Chief of the Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ogala, and members of the Governing Council, the acting Vice-Chancellor, and other principal officers of the university, all teaching and non-academic staff of the university, students, and indeed our invited guests, and most importantly, the immediate past governing council of this university for their immense contribution to the development of this very laudable institution. We thank you for all you have done and for your support. Finally, once more, I urge the graduating students of ADUN to go into the world fully prepared to express the wonderful opportunities, to explore the wonderful opportunities therein, while mindful of the challenges that will confront them and in their quest for success. You must be proactive, resourceful, and confident, and always be guided by those great sayings of Hannibal, the famous Carthaginian general. He, in his wisdom, has said, either I find a way or I make one. So I urge all of you to always make a way for yourselves in the light of the challenges that will confront you. On this note, I want to thank everybody for your rapt attention. And like we say in the Navy, onward together, and God bless you.
Please may we give another round of applause to the Pro-Chancellor. I now have the honor to call upon the Chief of the Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ikechukwu Ogala, who is represented here by the Chief of Policy and Plans at the Naval Headquarters, Rear Admiral Ibrahim Dew, to address convocation. Chief of Naval Staff, sir.
Set it high, open down. Our special guest of honor, permit me to also stand on the protocol well established by the Chairman Governing Board, Vice Admiral Dele Ezoba. I am Rear Admiral I.A. Dewu, the Chief of Policy and Plans, Naval Headquarters, here representing the Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral E.I. Ogala, Admiralty Medal. Now I go to his remarks, sir. It gives me great honor to make these remarks on the special occasion of the third convocation ceremony of the Admiralty University of Nigeria, ADUN. Today's event marks another milestone in the history of this young but admirable institution. I wish to welcome the special guest of honor, His Excellency Right Honorable Sheriff Obovorie, the Executive Governor of Delta State. I also wish to welcome our special guest and all invited guests to this convocation ceremony. Admiralty University of Nigeria was established in 2015 as a private university via a public-private partnership to promote excellence in maritime arts, science, and technology. This vision was expanded in 2027 to include contemporary and perspective fields of study in furtherance of our national aspirations for continuous human resource improvement and self-reliance. I wish to seize this opportunity to acknowledge the invaluable roles played by the founding fathers of the university and the past chiefs of naval staff, Vice Admiral DJ Ezoba, U.O. Jibrin, i.e. Ibusa and AZ Gambo. I also acknowledge the efforts of the pioneer governance structure, management and staff of the university. Furthermore, further to our aspirations to ensure sustainable development, ADUN was converted to a conventional public university by the presidential assent of the ADUN Established Act on 8 February 2023. Since then, the university has gone through a lengthy but useful transition under the able guidance of the Federal Ministry of Education. I am glad to note the pivotal change in the status of ADUN at the Ministry of Education, Federal Ministry of Finance, National University Commission, and the Tertiary Education Trust Fund, TED Fund, amongst other regulatory agencies. I wish to use this special occasion to appreciate the Honorable Minister of Education and Finance, permanent secretaries, executive secretaries, and TED Fund, as well as other top government officials for their supportive roles. I also wish to recognize the tireless inputs of some officers of the Nigerian Navy, management and staff of the university, including some friends of the Nigerian Navy, in furtherance of these goals. The university now enjoys a stable governance structure, leadership and management in accordance with the Nigerian university system. Significantly, it is now on an assured path to facility and faculty expansion, as well as academic growth and development. The conduct of iconic evolutions such as this convocation is a mark of its institutional stability and resilience, particularly as this is the third unbroken convocation in 3 years. Consequently, I wholeheartedly thank the Pro-Chancellor, the active Vice-Chancellor, the Senate, management, staff, and students for your worthy contributions to making ADUN a truly global university, educating luminary leaders. It is in this light that I salute the graduates of ADUN on your convocation. Today marks a pivotal moment in your lives, one you will cherish for a lifetime. I urge you to go out and show luminary leadership in knowledge, skills, and aptitude, and to cause structural, innovative, and disruptive change in all your endeavors. To our dear parents and guardians who have invested in these luminary leaders, I thank you for keeping faith with the university. Be rest assured that your children, ward, and cherished investments have been bequeathed with the most valuable educational legacies that can speak for them anywhere and in any circumstance. On our part, the Nigerian Navy will continue to support the university in fulfillment of the promise of the former Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral AZ Gambo, to employ first-class graduates at the last convocation. I am glad to announce that 2 of such graduates have been accepted into the Nigerian Navy as under-training officers. I wish to restate our commitment to the commissions to commission first-class graduates of ADUN from this ceremony, provided they meet the terms and conditions. Furthermore, the Nigerian Navy will maintain ADUN as the preferred location for high-level human resource development of its personnel, and in line with best practices, the NN will promote program integration of its training institution with the Admiralty University of Nigeria. At this juncture, I wish to express my appreciation to the President Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, for his unwavering support to the Nigerian Navy. We remain grateful. I wish to also specially appreciate the special guest of honor, the Executive Governor of Delta State, for the ongoing construction of a 48-room hostel accommodation, which is almost completed. May I also thank distinguished senators, honorable members of the House of Representatives, honorable ministers, the Chief of Defense Staff, Service Chiefs and Inspector General of Police, as well as other political and traditional leaders here with us. Your presence added value, color to this event. Finally, permit me to thank our very senior retired officers that have contributed to the upliftment of ADUN University. Congratulations once again to the graduates. Thank you all for your attention. God bless you onward together.
I now have the honor to call upon the special guest of honor, General Christopher Gwabin Musa, who is represented here by the Commander Joint Task Force, South, Delta State, Rear Admiral John Okeke, to address convocation. Chief of Defense Staff.
The visitor can bring it out. Let me hold it. The visitor.
The visitor, His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Grand Commander of Federal Republic, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Federal Republic of Nigeria, being represented by the Vice Chancellor, Federal University of Technology, EFRU, by name Professor Rim Apofure. You are welcome, sir. The distinguished special guest of honor, His Excellency, the Governor of Delta State, being represented by Honorable Commissioner for Education, Representative of Honorable Minister of Education, the Chief of Naval Staff, being represented equally, that's Vice Admiral Emmanuel Kechko-Gala, Admiralty Medal, representative of other service chiefs here present, and the Pro-Councilor Chairman, as well as the Chairman of the Governing Board and your members, Vice Chancellor representing other academia. Having gone this far in the long list of protocol, permit me to leverage the well-established protocol to deliver the remark of Chief of Defense Staff. So when I say I, it is the voice of my one-up, my amiable boss, General C.G. Musa, also of the Federal Republic. It is with great honor and immense pleasure that I stand before you today to deliver this goodwill message at the third convocation ceremony of the Admiralty University of Nigeria. This milestone marks another chapter of excellency and the achievements in the history of the great institution And it is history of this great institution. And it is indeed a privilege to celebrate with you all. First and foremost, I wish to acknowledge and appreciate the presence of His Excellency, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Grand Commander of Federal Republic, the CNC of the Armed Forces of Federal Republic of Nigeria, whose leadership and dedication to the advancement of education and national development has inspired us all. Your Excellency, your commitment to fostering innovation and excellency in our educational institutions underscore the importance of today's celebration. So we thank you, sir. I also extend my profound appreciation to the Nigerian Navy, whose vision and commitment laid the foundation for this prestigious institution. The Pro-Chancellor, sir, we thank you because you started this journey we are today. Thank you, sir. The Nigerian Navy unwavering dedication to nation building through education and human capacity development is an inspiration, and these are impacted across the nation and even beyond. This institution, that is ADUN, is a testimony to the enduring legacy of the Nigerian Navy. In this regard, I congratulate the Chief of Naval Staff and by extension, the entire Navy family for the thoughts of establishing this university. To the University Governing Council, your strategic leadership and unwavering commitment to the growth and sustainability of ADUN deserve special recognition. Your efforts in sharing the university toward a global standard and enduring conducive environment for academic pursuits and unfolding excellency are deeply appreciated. To the academia, that is to the Vice Chancellor, the faculty, staff members, I salute your tireless efforts to nurture these leaders of tomorrow. Your dedication to scholarship and the focus on moral and academic excellency are the bedrock of university success. Your collective efforts are indeed evident in the achievement we are celebrating today. I also extend my heartfelt gratitude to the Executive Secretary of National University Commission and the Minister of Education, being represented here by my dear friend, Professor Okwe, for your invaluable support and oversight, which ensures that ADUN has continued to maintain the highest standard since its inception 6 years ago. Your leadership enables universities, not only these universities, across the Nigeria to thrive, and that's where we are today. To the guest lecturer, Professor Sambo, I thank you for gracing this occasion and sharing your knowledge and insights as an erudite scholar. Your intellectual contribution has enriched this convocation ceremony, inspiring both the graduates, faculty, and all of us, the guests alike. To the parents and guardians of our graduating students, today is as much as a celebration for your sacrifice and the support as it is of your children's accomplishments. Your belief in their potential and dedication to their education has laid the foundation for the successes we are celebrating today. Finally, to the Delta State government, your partnership and support have been instrumental in creating a novel environment for this great institution to flourish. Your commitment to education development within the Niger Delta, within this region, ensure that institutions like ADUN will continue to shine as centers of learning and excellence. As we celebrate the achievement of the graduates today, I encourage you to remain steadfast in your pursuit of excellency, character, and the service to humanity. The education you have received here has equipped you with the tools to make meaningful contribution to society and to uphold the values of integrity and hard work, not minding the challenges, as earlier pointed out. Let us collectively reaffirm our commitment to the ideals of education, leadership, and nation building. Together, we can ensure that ADUN will continue to soar to greater heights as a beacon of hope and knowledge, of course, for a progressive future. Having said all this, I want to congratulate the graduate class of this third convocation ceremony, and may your future endeavors bring pride not only to your family, but to this university as your alma mater, and also to the larger society of our dear nation and the world over. Having said this, I thank you all, and God bless you all. Long live ADUN, long live the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you, sir.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please another round of applause to the Chief of Defense Staff. I now have the honor to call upon the distinguished special guest of honor, His Excellency, Executive Governor of Delta State, Right Honorable Sheriff Oborewore, JP, being represented here by the Commissioner for Higher Education, Professor Tunakari, to address convocation. Your Excellency, sir.
The visitor, His Excellency, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, here represented by the Vice Chancellor of the Federal University of Petroleum Resources, Professor Rimruke Akpofure, the Honorable Minister of Education, represented the Executive Secretary of NUC, represented the Chief of Naval Staff, represented other service chiefs, the Pro-Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, Management Staff of Admiralty University, the Permanent Secretaries, Directors, and other top government functionaries, graduating students, Your Royal Majesties, my Lords, spiritual and temporal, gentlemen of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. His Excellency, Right Honorable Elder Sheriff Oborewore, would have loved to be here today. He's a friend of Admiralty University, and I would have loved to be here in person. However, he has some urgent government business outside Delta States, and that is why he has sent me to represent him. So I will go right ahead to present his address. I'm happy to be in the midst of graduating students of this third convocation ceremony of this young but great citadel of learning, Admiralty University of Nigeria. No doubt, this is a special day of limitless joy for both the outgoing students and their families. I heartily congratulate the outgoing students for their successes in their various fields of study. Dear graduating students, graduation means you have changed your standing in society. From every account, you have passed through one of the most standard universities in this country. I am confident you will be capable of facing the challenges that society poses, having conquered the rigorous task of an institution of higher learning, especially one with very high academic standard. From available records, this university, within a short space of 7 years, has attained enviable heights. It has obtained accreditation for 12 academic programs, an award of academic excellence, which was bestowed on one of its students, and a downward review of its fees to make the university more accessible to a greater number of Nigerians. Thank you very much. These are laudable accomplishments which make the university one of the most exceptionally sound among institutions of higher learning in the country. At this point, let me commend His Excellency, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFRO, for the federal government takeover of this university. Providing the institution with federal might will go a long way in propping the growth and advancement which are already enviable. I urge the management of this university to exploit the benefits fully while making the best use of the advantages that accrue from it. Please continue with the excellent standard you have set. Remember, it is easier to attain great heights, but it is difficult to remain there. Please do not relent. My dear graduating students, we are all here because of you. Please do not be afraid of the economic challenges facing the country. Put on your thinking cap. The university has equipped you with relevant knowledge. You cannot afford to fail. Obviously, not after graduating from an academically sound university like this. Let your activities in society bring joy, honor, and prestige to your alma mater. Make a difference wherever you find yourself. For every challenge you face, just convince yourself that you can conquer it, and surely you will do. I am conscious of the ordained partnership between this university and the Delta State government. It is a cooperation that will endure. We give serious priority to human capital development, and that is exactly what you are doing here. This relationship will continue to flourish for the good of both the university and the states. Once again, I felicitate with the graduating students, their families, friends, and well-wishers. I sincerely wish you every success in all your future undertakings. May the good Lord bless us all. Thank you very much.
Please, another round of applause for our distinguished special guest of honor. Acting Vice Chancellor, sir, Onwuleri Samtochukwu Onwumi Dinachi of the Department of Biology and Forensic Science will deliver the valedictory speech on behalf of the graduating students for the year 2023-2024. Okay, stay here. Put the mic properly.
The visitor, distinguished special guest of honor, esteemed faculty, fellow graduates, family and friends. Today marks a significant milestone in our lives, a culmination of years of hard work, dedication and perseverance. Over the past 4 years, we have journeyed through halls of learning and unlearning. We have developed through discipline, perseverance and resilience, to mention but few. We stand here proud and accomplished, having overcome challenges and achieved our common goal. As we embark on our next journey, let us not forget to look back on the people who have helped us and showed resilience. To all academic and non-teaching staff, cleaners, porters, security men, and everyone that have contributed to make our stay in the university worthwhile, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. To everyone graduating today, let's get this done and face the world with the intent to announce our arrival. To our family and friends, your unwavering support has been our strength. Thank you for believing in us. To my mom, thank you for being my constant source of comfort, strength, and inspiration. To my dad, thank you for your selfless contributions to my success. To my brother, thank you for paving the way and showing me it was possible to achieve greatness. To my lecturers, thank you for your exceptional teaching, guidance, and support. And above all, I bow my head before God, who gave me strength and served as the truth, the way, and the light. Permit me to relay a quote from Chimamanda Adichie. You cannot create anything of value without self-doubt and self-belief. Without self-doubt, you become complacent. Without self-belief, you cannot succeed. To everyone in the graduating class of 2024, go out to the world, believing in yourself a little bit more, realizing that there is truly no limit to what you can achieve. If you must dream, you might as well dream big. As we go forth on our separate journeys, may we always have at the back of our minds the school's mantra, doing the right thing, the right way, at the right time, and for the right reasons. Congratulations, fellow graduates, we did it. Long live ADUN, long live the Nigerian Navy, long live the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Please, another round of applause for her. It's not easy. I now have the honor to call upon the visitor, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, who is represented here by Professor Rim Ruke Akofore, the Vice Chancellor, Federal University of Petroleum Resources, EFRUN, to address convocation. Your Excellency, sir.
Distinguished members of this convocation ceremony, in line with the renewed hope agenda of Mr. President, is not here today. Is far away pursuing one of the major agenda in his government, which is end to poverty. He has therefore said, oh, this university is dear to his heart. It's one of those established, initiated by the Navy, and he cannot be here. He has found me worthy to represent him in this convocation ceremony. I will do no other thing just to read this address. Address delivered. Oh, first and foremost, I'm Engineer Professor Akpofure. I'm the Vice Chancellor, Federal University of Petroleum Resources, the only one in Nigeria the only one in Africa, and the 6th in the world. Address delivered by the visitor, President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFRO, on the occasion of the 3rd convocation ceremony of Admiralty University of Nigeria, Ibusa, Delta State, held today, 22nd day, Friday, November 2024. All protocols duly observed. It is with immense pleasure that I stand before you today at this auspicious occasion of the 3rd convocation ceremony of this great university, located here in the heart of Delta State at Ibusa, which commenced its academic activities in 2019. I congratulate the Pro-Chancellor and members of the Governing Council on their appointment to superintend over and manage the affairs of the university. I also congratulate the Vice-Chancellor, other principal officers, members of Senate, staff, the graduating students, parents, graduates, well-wishers, dignitaries on this historic ceremony. I rejoice with the entire members of the university community. Today, Admiralty University is sending its 3rd batch of bachelor's degree holders into the world. This is a testament to the fact that the university has kept faith with its academic calendar. I encourage the university to continue in this direction and not to allow anything to disrupt its academic programs. I have learned that the university is currently working assiduously towards the establishment of additional faculties of engineering and marine studies, which is quite commendable. It is therefore expected that in a few years from now, the Nigerian maritime industry will advance further in shipbuilding, maintenance, and such allied endeavors, which will enhance our march towards technical advancement and create more jobs for our teeming youths. Permit me to once again extend my congratulations to all graduating students for successfully attaining their remarkable milestone, this remarkable milestone in their educational journey. As you step into the next phase of life, I urge you to remember the self-evident truth that you are the future leaders of this nation. Government has spent a lot on your education, equipping you with skills required for you to make the utmost of your lives and meaningful contribution to the society at large. Therefore, as you go into the world, I urge you to be agents of positive change, using knowledge in lifting our society and contributing to the growth and development of our great nation and the world at large. I appeal to your sense of patriotism, imploring you to avoid temptation of hurrying to look for greener pastures abroad. We can make our pastures even greener and equally greener and even greater greener than other climes of the world. As part of the renewed hope agenda of this administration for education, the Nigeria Education Loan Fund, NEL Fund, was established to provide financial support to students in tertiary education. In line with the renewable agenda, nobody, the president said nobody should drop out of school for his ability or inability not to pay his school fees. Today, over 70 billion naira has been already processed for payment to students and their institutions through this initiative program. My university recently got over 70 million naira paid as school fees for about 63 students who have applied. It's a testimony. I appeal, therefore, to the beneficiaries of this loan to be honest and committed in their loan repayment to make NEL Fund sustainable. Let me assure you that this administration will continue to do everything possible to assist NEL Fund to achieve its mandate of making tertiary education more accessible to all Nigerians. Recently, the federal government constituted governing councils of federal-owned institutions, including the Admiralty University of Nigeria, for effective administration. During the event, emphasis was placed, among other things, on the importance of ensuring that university resources are prudently managed and utilized effectively. I would like to reiterate by urging members of Governing Council to adopt a strategic approach to funding. Encourage them to explore more legal sources of revenue to support the growth and development of this institution. I must commend the management of Admiralty University of Nigeria for providing the ambience and conducive environment for teaching, learning, research, and community service. It is my expectation that today's ceremony, the third convocation ceremony of this fast-growing university, will spur the management and indeed staff and students to strive even harder to achieve the dreams of their founding fathers and maintain high standards in keeping with their motto, excellence in education. Your researches must be tailored to solving nature's problem in security, economy, infrastructure, and everyday challenges of energy of Nigerians on the street towards your technical applications. I wish to heartily congratulate the parents, guardians of these graduates for huge sacrifices they made to see these graduating students through their stay in the university. I must also remind the graduating students that you are now ambassadors of the Admiralty University of Nigeria with responsibility of projecting the positive image of your university. As an alumnus, today you are now alumnus, you must remember to give back to your alma mater whenever it cries out to you for help. In fact, universities all over the world are known to have grown through the effort of their alumni. You cannot be different. Once again, I congratulate you on your educational attainment, and may God bless you, and may God be with you and bless you always. I wish to assure the Vice Chancellor that the challenges that have been presented today will reach the table of Mr. President. Finally, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as we continue in our journey of building our great nation, we must note that our survival as a nation depends on our collective efforts. As a people, therefore, we must begin to nurture positive thoughts. He underlined it, he said positive thoughts about ourselves and the direction in which our nation must progress. I wish to conclude this address by saying, onward together, onward to greatness. Long live Admiralty University of Nigeria. Long live Delta State. Long live Federal Republic of Nigeria. I thank you for listening.
Ladies and gentlemen, another round of applause for the visitor. Acting Vice Chancellor, sir, we have some plaques as a mark of honor to some of our guests.
Thank you. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, Admiralty University have a tradition of giving honor to whom is due. And as mark of giving honor to a distinguished guest, we'd like to call to receive the ADUN award. His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, the visitor of this university, ably represented by the Vice Chancellor here. Please, Acting VC, present it to him. Thank you. Okay. Thank you very much. And the next one is our distinguished special guest of honor. The Executive Governor of Delta State, His Excellency Right Honorable Elder Sheriff F.O. Oboruri, JP. Please put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. And next on our list is the special guest of honor, General Christopher Gwabin Musa, the Chief of Defense Staff, ably represented here today. Thank you. Please put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. And we have the Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ikechukwu Ugala, the Chief of the Naval Staff, who is ably represented by Rear Admiral Diu. Please put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. And we have the Pro-Chancellor and Chairman of the Governing Council, Vice Admiral Dele Joseph Resolver, retired, the man whose this multipurpose hall is named after. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. And last but not the least, we have our Convocation guest lecturer, Professor Abubakar Sani Sambu, OON, NPUM, HLF. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, for giving us that wonderful lecture. Thank you. Before I invite the registrar, I'd like to recognize the president of Comrade Chuchilo Iwe, the chairman NUJ Delta State Council. May I invite the registrar to take over the proceedings. Thank you.
And I'll call upon the chairman, honors, awards, and ceremonies to give the vote of thanks. Chairman, honors, awards, and ceremonies. Sir.
My task is a very simple one. Right from the start of the speech of the Vice Chancellor, Acting Vice Chancellor, he started there with my task, the vote of thanks. I am standing on the existing protocol that has been well established. So I will go straight into the thanks. I start with the visitor to the university, the President, His Excellency Ahmed Bola Tinubu. I have to express on behalf of the university our profound gratitude for the interest the President has shown in this university. Last year, we invited him and he sent a very powerful representative. This year, we have also done so, and he has sent a very, very senior academic, a Vice Chancellor. Please extend our message to the President, and that we are praying for him, that he will continue to lead the country as he's doing. We recognize His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Delta State, His Excellency Sheriff F.O., for what he is doing for the university, his keen interest in the university. His efforts in this university have been mentioned by the acting Vice Chancellor. And we encourage him not to relent his efforts, but to sustain the momentum. We appreciate. We thank in a special way the Chief of Army Staff, Chief of Defense Staff, who has sent his representative. I think this is the first time here we are having the presence of the Chief of Army Staff, Chief of Defense Staff, sorry. We thank him very much and ask him to continue to identify with us. At least in our gathering here, having the feeling that the Chief of Defense Staff is with us here, the Chief of Naval Staff, Air Force personnel, the AVM representative here, it gave us very big encouragement of we are operating in a safe environment. We thank all of you. The Pro-Chancellor, sir, dynamic Pro-Chancellor, we thank you for your able leadership in the Council. You are always working. In fact, the Pro-Chancellor has made every member of the Council to put on his thinking or her thinking cap. No dull moment. We thank him and for making this convocation ceremony to come into fruition today. Sir, you are welcome. We also thank the members of the Council for their efforts to put heads together to ensure that what we are doing here today has come to fruition. I use this opportunity also to thank the past members of the Council. The past members of the Council was led by a professor, a very senior professor, Salihu Mustafa. Is here with us, no representation. He is here in person. Sir, you are welcome. Distinguished guests, permit me to also recognize my teacher, Professor Abubakar Sani Sambu, who is the guest lecturer. He taught me solar energy. He supervised my PhD. Sir, you are welcome, sir. He is Chetiman Gabas Zazo. I was there live when he was turbaned by the Emir of Zazo in Zaria. Very distinguished academics here present. The Vice Chancellors, you are welcome to Admiralty University of Nigeria. We have received your messages and we are going to put them into action. The men of the Armed Forces of Nigeria, the Vice Admiral, and the Chief of Naval Staff, Rear Admiral Emmanuel Ogala. It is his efforts and his foresight that when he came into the university, there were some problems, and he took it head on and made sure that there is peace in this university now. There is serene environment now. We thank his representative, who is a member of the council now, Rear Admiral Dewu. I was with him yesterday. I didn't know that today his status will change. Thank you very much, sir, and convey our message to the Rear Admiral. He has always identified with us, checking even our blood pressure to know whether it is functioning normal, advice, and others. We welcome him very, very well. I recognize all the Vice Admirals serving and retired present here. And the Rear Admirals, many of them are my friends. You are all welcome. I have tapped from your advice, your guidance, and I assure you people that this university which we have put together, you will never receive disappointment. We will continue to show the excellence that other institutions will emulate. We thank you. Other high-ranking military officers present here, I've seen some Air Vice Marshals and so forth. We welcome all of you. Thank you very much. Permit me now to look at His Royal Highnesses, which I also belong to. The Ibusa is here with us. The Ibusa of Ibusa. Oza Ibusa. He is always with us. And they gave me associate member of the cabinet. Permit me also to thank the management of this university, being led ably by Professor Dili Ofuoku. If you look at his size, you may think that he cannot perform, but he's tireless. Very precise. You look at his size, you think that there is no energy, but he has a lot of energy. Thank you very much, sir. And we ask you to continue to add steam in your administration. He has also sustained the peace of this environment. The members of the management, we have very, very dynamic members of the management. Some have come to help this university from different institutions. And our management now has been enriched by critical thinking and ideas. I thank all of you for being here. The staff and students, they have been very good. And have all helped to bring us to this level now. The members of the planning committee, I thank all of you for your support, the support given so that we have this. Though I may be harsh in some of my meetings with you, but see it like that. It's for us to achieve success. The graduating students, you have heard a lot, both from the visitor, the pro-chancellor. I urge all of you to put what you have heard here into action. Remember, when you are giving certificate, the certificate is for learning and character. It's for you to go out and showcase what you have learned here and your character. If you have made first class and the character is not there, if we have found that out, you won't have your certificate. So showcase that. Show that you are a light to the world. I thank all of you, distinguished ladies and gentlemen of the press. Don't wait to think that I will not recognize you. We recognize your efforts so that we carry our activities and showcase it to the world. We recognize your presence. At this juncture, I will say thank you all the people who may not have been mentioned in this vote of thanks. we cherish your presence. And may the God Almighty guide and protect all of us as we live here for higher cause. Thank you very much.
Please listen to the following announcements. Yesterday, the university had a book launch titled Contemporary Issues in Modern Economy. We want to say that the book is still available at a cost of 15,000 naira. Those interested, you visit the public relations officer and collect your copy. Our graduating students, as you celebrate your graduation, it is advised that you do so responsibly. It's an advice. And also be informed that the gowns issued to you should be returned almost immediately after this event. At most, by Monday morning, you should get back to your faculty officers. We also want to specially invite all those who have been given invitation cards by the Vice Chancellor to report at the main cafeteria for a light refreshment before you go home. Thank you very much.
I have the honor to call upon the acting Vice Chancellor to declare the third convocation ceremony of Admiralty University of Nigeria closed. Acting Vice Chancellor, sir.
I will not waste too much time on this because the day has already been spent. The protocol is read out by the registrar at the commencement of this ceremony, and that also presented by the chair on Committee on Honors and Awards and Ceremonies are there to guide us. So I respect that protocol. However, I need to acknowledge just a few of us. Need to acknowledge the visitor, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Need to acknowledge the distinguished special guest of honor, His Excellency the Executive Governor of Delta State, Right Honorable Sheriff F. Oboroweri. Need to also acknowledge the Chairman of the Senate Committee on Navy, Senator Otumba Gbenga Daniel, the Chairman Committee of Representatives Committee on the Navy, Right Honorable Yusuf Gajin, Honorable Minister of Education, Executive Secretary, National Universities Commission, the Chief of Defense Staff, the Chief of Naval Staff, and I will please allow that to stand as that. On the other hand side, the Royal Fathers,
the graduating students, staff and members of Admiralty University of Nigeria, deans of faculties, the parents of the graduating students, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is a great honor to stand here to thank you for what you have done today by making yourself present at this ceremony. We appreciate you all. By the honor conferred upon me as the acting Vice Chancellor, I want to thank you again, and I hereby declare this wonderful ceremony closed. Thank you.
Please, let's put your hands together again for the acting Vice Chancellor, Professor Dili Ofuku. Ladies and gentlemen, whatever has a beginning has an end. But just a quick information on the order of photograph. Immediately after the Vice Chancellor's procession in reverse order, outside we'll take the Vice Chancellor, Principal Officers and all dignitaries. Then we'll take the Vice Chancellor, Principal Officers and military officers. Then we'll take the VC, Principal Officers and graduates, then graduates only. Then we'll move to the cafeteria for some lunch. Ladies and gentlemen, let us rise for the ADUN anthem, the national anthem, and the end. We'll start with the ADUN anthem. After the ADUN anthem, we'll take the national anthem. Okay, the Pro-Chancellor has directed that we just take the national anthem. So, Navy Band, take us. Thank you. Thank you. We remain standing while the Vice Chancellor's procession goes, led by the University Mace Bearer, the Visitor, the Delta State Governor, Chancellor, Pro-Chancellor, Vice Chancellor, Registrar, Secretary to the Council. Please, the band, give us a recession song. Thank you. And as we all leave, we pray for journey mercies to all our distinguished guests, our parents, and to our graduates, and all the dignitaries. The press, we appreciate your coming. You can take interviews immediately after the photographs outside. We say thank you to all the committee members that have showed that this event is a success. And we pray that God will keep us till the next convocation ceremony. We say thank you, and thank you once again. And admissions is still ongoing to Admiralty University of Nigeria. We are still admitting students. Thank you. Please, our traditional rulers, all our special guests, will not keep you hungry. Immediately after the photograph session, we'll move to the cafeteria to have some lunch. Please ensure you take the lunch before you leave. It's our own little way of saying thank you for coming. We appreciate all our former council members, all the serving military officers here. We say thank you to you all. Thank you, and God bless you. Parents, we'll continue the celebration with the graduates outside. There are canopies, there is DJ. Let's continue the merriment. God bless you all. Thank you. All ushers, please move to the cafeteria now.